Hello everybody, this is Avcoor with some more Final Fantasy Ever Crisis content. This video I'm going to talk about builds, and one of the first builds I want to talk about is the fabled Lightning God set. This build is so important that so many people use it to great effect. And a lot of Steam players have heard it, they know about it, but I want to go into the mechanics of this and why it works so well, and what are the weaknesses, and if you're a Steam player, if you just started, some ways that you can build lightning sets in order to serve your purposes, as well as let other people in the community know that you don't always need the perfect set in order to win. But let's talk about the Lightning God set. The Lightning God set started at the beginning of this game. It is a very old set for Cloud, but it's one of the best. One of the reasons why it's the best is because it combines three key pieces of equipment in order to maximize your lightning damage. The whole point of the Lightning God set is to do as much damage with lightning as possible. The first of these three components is, of course, the costume. Murasame Battlegarb is doing everything you need it to do in order to establish the Lightning God set. First of all, you're getting 5 points of physical attack, which actually puts you in the level 2 bin, which is really good starting off, not even including weapons. But the most important part is 11 Blade Arcanum. 11 Blade Arcanum is a skill that exists outside of other skills. It does not add to the elemental potency level, so you actually can level up your lightning potency to 10 and still have this and do insane levels of damage. I personally can't do that yet, but I am slowly but surely trying to build up to that. So 35 points of extra lightning damage is insane. That's what allows the other pieces of the Lightning God set to work, because all of them are being multiplied by 11 Blade Arcanum. So the next piece is, of course, Murasame. Murasame actually does everything Cloud needs it to do. I know people say, well, Avcoor, 750% damage is not as good as the newer elemental weapons. I would agree, but what I will say is a lot of us who have invested in Cloud are actually at OB10. Like, I'm at OB10 plus 2. So if you actually did your wish list right, and you sniped and you did some sacrifices and you got the stuff that you needed, you will have Murasame at least at OB6, I would imagine. Even at OB6 is really good, but at OB10 the magic really happens, because you're getting boost P attack plus 40 points, and when you combine this with Murasame's Battlegarb, you're looking at level 6 before you even look at your sub equipment and weapons. Level 6 already, so you're getting 100 points of physical attack plus another 40%, which is really good. So that's insane. Second of all, you're getting boost lightning potency at 36 points, and 36 points actually net you in the lightning ability damage plus 55%, which is really good. So you're already at level 5. So you OB10 your weapon, Murasame, and you have Murasame's Battlegarb. That's one of the reasons why I was able to beat Sephiroth is because I was able to multiply my damage using the Lightning God set. So you have to keep that in mind, that the Lightning God set allows you to clear the damage checks, the DPS checks that this game will have you jump over or engage or cross. Just keep that in mind, that that's the power of the Lightning God set. So this is what I'm working on: 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'll go over that, how you can get there later. But this weapon at OB10 helped you get there easier than most. And last but not least, we're talking about support material. Boost P attack, and sigil boost. This is doing everything he would want or ask it to do, because the Lightning God set is a pure DPS set, so you're not worried about healing and you're not worried about support. So being able to boost P attack and a sigil break is really awesome. So So far, so good. The last part of the Lightning God set is Ramuh. Why is that the case? Because with the Lightning God set, you're actually trying to maximize as much as your damage as possible. Ramuh tops it off where it says, okay, I get hit so much, but when I use Judgment Bolt, my Judgment Bolt is actually augmented by 11 Blade Arcanum. This increases lightning damage by plus 35%. And it's also augmented by Boost Lightning Potency, which at my level would be plus 55%. So Ramuh's doing way more damage in the hands of Cloud than it can do in anybody else's hands. The more you use Cloud, the more you realize that he has like like this insane potential, because he can do the same thing with a freak that he can do with Ramuh. But I haven't tapped into that yet because Sky Splitter is only at OB3. But over time I will. I plan on getting that to OB10 because I have his costume and everything. So let's go over some of the weaknesses of the Lightning God set. First of all, the Lightning God set is very one-dimensional. It only seeks to do one thing, and that is maximize lightning DPS. So in order to utilize Cloud in this way, you have to have other people support him. And if you give him support options, it takes away from the overall DPS potential of the Lightning God set. Say for instance, if I seek to put, say like Bandit Sword on him, which will allow him to like buff magic defense, it will take away from his offense. Even with his materia, with your materia, you're trying to maximize physical attack and HP. If you want him to do something else, that will take away from the build. So first of all, it is one-dimensional. Second, it's lightning. If the enemy is resistant versus lightning, the Lightning God set is pretty useless. And third, one thing that I will say is it requires investment. First of all, you have to level up your Ramuh. You want him at max, at his level max. You actually want this at OB10, so you're going to have to dump some resources into your Cloud, and that will take away from other units. But it is worth it in the end because, like with Sephiroth had no elemental weaknesses, but still, with the Lightning God set, you're able to increase the damage that he deals. So even though he wasn't weak versus it, his damage output was high enough for it to matter. So when you consider those three weaknesses, it's okay. The strength of the set is it's able to put out a lot of damage. It puts out so much damage, you'll be shocked how much it is able to do. Don't worry, if it doesn't work the way you think it will, over time it will. Like, if you saw my Lightning God set at OB2 or my Ramuh at level 3, it was not nearly as strong as it is now. So don't worry about that. Just take your time. Keep Murasame in your wish list. And when you have weapon parts, save it up and put it into Murasame. I promise you, you'll benefit heavily from doing that. So it's okay. So the last thing I want to talk about, well, two points I'll make and then I'm done, is sub-equipment. What type of sub-equipment do you want on your lightning build? So there's like, I think 3 or 4 pieces of equipment I think that you would want. So let's go to elemental potency, let's go to lightning. So between crystal gloves and seaside collar, I think that'll be the HP buffing equipment that you'll want. I think this will be probably the best for me right now because I leveled it up so much, is seaside collar, because it goes to 4036, which when you break it down will be 1820. So with 18, you actually hit level 7 with 18 at max potency. So you go from level 5 to level 7. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Another weapon that I think is really good is this, because the boost potency is 48, which is 24. So with 24, you're looking at 59. You're going to 7, which is really good. I think this is the fastest way that you'll get to level 10, but I just didn't invest enough into it. But those are like the HP ones that I would recommend. So here is the physical attack if you were interested in doing that. This is 3640. Excuse me. Remember with the lightning god set, you will hit 45 P attack if you have a fully invested Murasame and 11 Blade Arcanum plus P attack Murasame Battlegarb. So you're gonna have to find that physical attack somewhere, and Broadsword Access is an easy place to get it from. In fact, it comes along with boost lightning potency. So with max investment, you're looking at 18, and 18 will get you to 18 will actually make you hit level 7. Yeah, it will, because no, it won't. You'll hit level 6 because 18. Yeah, you'll hit level 6, which is still good, but you'll actually get the P attack because you don't need much P attack in the first place. So even at like uninvested, you'll actually hit 24 points, and that'll actually push you into the max, which is level 7. So Broadsword Access is really good for the lightning god set. So this plus this, either of these would be really good. This isn't really good because it's magic attack, which you don't need. This is not really good because it's magic attack, which you don't need. And so this is the last piece. It's actually Shockbuster. Shockbuster actually gives you the boost attack that you want because it's easy to max out your P attack, so you don't have to really worry about that anymore. So once you get through with that, you need a boost attack. So you're getting boost attack and boost lightning potency, which is really good. So I think this is one of the best pieces of equipment for Cloud. That's why I'm leveling it up with my Glen, because it's one of the best pieces of equipment for Cloud, and I really like Glen, so it's a win-win. So my suggestion is this, and this. So there's 5 pieces of sub-equipment that you can invest in order to improve the lightning god set. So lastly, let me talk about some ways that you can get around it. Like, say that you don't have any of this. What's a cheap way for me to do lightning damage? And I would say, Aerith. If you invested in Aerith a little bit and you go through the summon route, you will actually get Ramuh staff. And I know what you guys are saying. Well, Ramuh staff is pretty trash, but if you're starting out, it's not trash, because you can get this maxed out. If you go through the Ramuh trials, you'll actually get this maxed out, which actually deals 480% magic lightning damage. That's nothing to sneeze at, especially when you're starting out. I'm not talking about like advanced strategies. If you need some lightning damage, then Ramuh staff is the way to go. Another place that you can get lightning damage, let me see. Let's go to sub equipment real quick. Is Rifle of Lebanon. This is another free weapon that you can actually take to OB10. And even though it's 420% magic lightning damage, you actually get boost attack. So if you put this in your main slot, you actually get 22 points of boost attack. This is a free-to-play option if you wanted to do lightning damage. And I personally use Ramuh staff with my Aerith. Even in some high-level content, I actually use Ramuh staff because it's just free and it's easy to use. So if you do not have the lightning god set, don't worry about it. There's other cheap options in order to do lightning damage. And when all else fails, you can just use Thundara or Thunderblow. As long as you have the stats, you can maximize the damage of your lightning materia. So say for instance, she's actually rocking 3,896, which is 3,900. I'm not expecting you to have that much, but I'm just saying, if your stats match the content that you're dealing with, you'll be surprised how far your material will take you. So if you cannot use the lightning god set, if you cannot use a strong lightning based set, then use the Ramuh equipment, use the lightning Thundara and Thunderblow equipment, and don't worry about it. If you have the stats, it will take you far. I don't want to scare people and say, hey man, this is the stuff that you need. You don't. There are other free-to-play options. Compared to most games, this game is more free-to-play friendly than I've seen a lot of other games. It may take you longer to get to a certain spot, but over time you can get there. You just need to wait, plan out your summons, manage your wish list, target what you want and what you think your team needs. That's why I encourage people to like run a lot of content that you're already beaten and try to experiment to see what works and what doesn't work for you. Like I'll make videos of me doing content with First Soldier, and it's not just for you, but it's also for me because I don't know what works or what doesn't work yet. I haven't played them enough to know how far I can stretch them. And when you see me stretch them, hey, take some of my ideas. If I screw up, say, hey man, you screwed up. This was a better way to do it. It's okay because all of us are trying to make each other better. We're not trying to tear each other down. But anyways, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'll get back to you. Have a great day and laters.